Tonight, our coverage as Canada supports a United Nations motion critical of Israeli settlements and use of force against Palestinians. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Aisha Ashraf. Canada has supported a United Nations motion critical of Israel. The motion is calling for a viable two-state solution. It condemns Israeli settlements in Palestinian territories and use of force against Palestinian civilians. The motion has passed with a vote of 157 to 8. Canadian Ambassador Bob Rae says merely managing conflicts without genuine efforts for resolution is not a sustainable solution. Rae says Canada is committed to the two-state solution. He is urging the return of all prisoners, including a Canadian citizen. Canada's vote marks departure from Canada's traditional alignment with Israel at the United Nations. The motion has sparked critique from Israel's advocates. Critics, including conservative Michael Chong, argue this move reverses Canada's long-standing stance on Israel. The motion is supported by the United Kingdom, Japan, and most European Union states. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is urging the opposition not to perpetuate erroneous narratives about the Canada-US border. He has told opposition leader Pierre Poilievre that the narrative could complicate discussions with the incoming US administration. He made the comments during a recent meeting with party leaders. In the meeting, Trudeau discussed his interaction with President-elect Donald Trump. Recently, Trump has threatened to impose a 25% tariff on Canadian imports due to concerns over illegal immigration and fentanyl smuggling. Poilievre blames Trudeau for losing control over borders and economic policies that have weakened Canada's position. Trudeau says it is very important to present a united front at the moment. He says all parties should avoid spreading misinformation that has long-term consequences. In related news, Canadian Public Safety Minister Dominic LeBlanc says Donald Trump's comment is a light-hearted part of his meeting with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. This comes as Trump suggested that Canada might become America's 51st state during a recent meeting between the two leaders in Florida. Media reports say Trump made this comment after Trudeau said tariffs would kill Canada's economy. The remark initially caused some consternation. However, LeBlanc says the talks also humorously entertained the idea of splitting Canada into a liberal and a conservative state. Despite the stir, Trump and Trudeau say their discussions ended on a positive note. Halton Regional Police have arrested 4 international students following a spree of car break-ins in Oakville, Ontario. On the night of November 24th, several vehicles were targeted on Rosehill Drive and Shady Glen Road. The suspects smashed windows to snatch cash and cards. They then used stolen debit and credit cards across the Greater Toronto area. They were spotted in a white Honda Civic. Early Sunday, police intercepted the same vehicle after another reported break-in. The accused are Gurparkar Singh, Akshdeep Singh, Kanavpreet Singh, and Dilpreet Singh. They are facing charges including mischief and theft. Authorities encourage anyone with information to come forward. In the past 24 hours, Israeli strikes have killed 30 Palestinians across the Gaza Strip. 84 have been injured. A drone strike has targeted a food distribution site and a residential house in the Nuseirat refugee camp. The incident has killed 5 individuals. An airstrike in Rafah's Az-Zuhur has killed 2 people. In northern Rafah, additional airstrikes have wounded 3 more individuals. The situation is dire at the Kamal Adwan Hospital. More than 100 patients face imminent danger due to the cessation of its vital oxygen station. Israeli tanks have advanced into northern Khan Yunis. This comes as the military has given fresh evacuation orders. The humanitarian crisis is exacerbated by the onset of winter and severely restricted aid deliveries. Israel's war in Gaza has killed at least 44,532 Palestinians. More than 100,000 have been injured since October last year. Last month, the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for war crimes and crimes against humanity. Israel also faces a genocide case at the International Court of Justice over its brutal war on Gaza. This week, the world observed the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Palestinians maimed in Israeli attacks gathered at Al-Ahli Baptist Hospital to protest. They voiced their struggles through banners demanding medical access and the opening of border crossings. The Gaza Strip is under a blockade and faces severe shortages in medical and rehabilitation services. The blockade has exacerbated the conditions for those with disabilities. The United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees chief says there is an increase in disabilities, including a surge in child amputees. The World Health Organization estimates that 1 in 4 people injured during the war have sustained life-changing injuries. It says they will need rehabilitation services, including care for amputations and spinal cord injuries. Advocacy group Jews Say No to Genocide Coalition is calling for the Canadian government to impose an arms embargo against Israel. They are also protesting against Israel's military actions in Gaza. The group occupied the Confederation building in Ottawa yesterday. The peaceful demonstrators chanted songs and slogans. Nada Ricardo from Independent Jewish Voices Canada says there is an urgent need to address the violence in Gaza. The Parliamentary Protective Service detained 14 protesters who were later released without charges. 3 Muslim students in Northern Ireland have been advised not to return to school for their safety following an assault in November. The students are enrolled in Belfast Model School for Girls and are below 16 years of age. The assault is now being investigated as a hate crime. Initially, misinformation about the Muslim students spread online. They were accused of perpetuating the violence. More than 200 parents protested in front of the school gate, questioning the safety of their children. However, investigation reveals the Muslim students are the victims. They have been facing racial bullying and aggressive behavior. The school says it is committed to providing a secure and inclusive environment amidst this tension. In a statement, the school's Board of Governors says it is continuing to work with the Education Authority. Media reports say police are also investigating another incident where a brick was thrown through the window close to the property where the 3 Muslim girls live. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News Canada. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.